Oh, I am so excited.
You gotta wait.
Welcome back. No doubt you've had a barbecue or two over the past week. We have had hot dogs,
Yep.
we've had mussels, and today we are going vegan.
About time. And Paul Knapp is here with the perfect meat-free alternative for your next outdoor feast. Good morning, Paul. When you think of barbecue, you think of meat. It doesn't have to be the case.
It doesn't
and you're
have
going
to
to show
be.
us today.
Absolutely. So what we're doing is we're doing a plant-based, what we've got is there is a plant-based mince, and we're making koftas. So again, it looks like mince. It's kind of got the texture. It behaves like mince when we cook it and things like that. Other than it's plant-based, predominantly soya, and there's a little bit of wheat in there as well.
Now, does it taste like beef mince or lamb mince or just mince?
I was never a fan of mince really anyway in the first place because it was normally what you put into it, do you know what I mean?
Okay, so
like
it's the
as
flavouring.
on its own, we normally flavour it with stuff. So
It's
we're
more
using
the
it
texture,
absolutely,
kind
it's
of.
a textural thing. And so if you're trying to say switch the kids over to something, there's still the same kind of texture in there and things like that.
Yes,
But more
okay.
importantly, it's what we're going to put into it. We're putting in coriander, cumin, sumac. Sumac is basically it's a Middle Eastern spice, so it's kind of very lemony, kind of a tinge to it as well.
Is it easy to come by?
It is. It's very easy. You can get that in the supermarkets. You can buy that at all mainstream
Sumac.
supermarkets. It was easier to get that yesterday than it was to buy lettuce, tomatoes, anything to do with any barbecue thing in the supermarkets. They were wiped out. Pistachios and garlic. All the recipes up on Island M's Facebook page as well as Virgin Media One's website.
Okay.
So don't panic with regards to all the ingredients that go into this. But before we start, I just got to say one thing. Where are we? It's my mum's birthday. Happy birthday, Mum. I love you
What's
to
her name?
pieces. Eve Montague. She's out in Rustington, over in West Sussex. Haven't seen you for a year and a half, Mum. So hopefully she gets to see this. That's COVID, like, you know what I mean?
no.
But Mum, happy birthday, and I'll see
Happy
you soon.
birthday,
Oh,
Eve.
wow, happy birthday, Eve. I tell you what, I
Yeah.
bet you miss Paul cooking for you as well.
I definitely did get my cooking from my mum anyway, that's for sure.
She taught you, did she?
No, my mum uses the cooking timer on the ceiling, which is the smoke detector, and she works on when it's black it's done, and that's basically about my mum. Anyway, let's get back onto this.
It's her birthday, you're not meant to be slagging her off.
She has other talents.
She does have other talents, yeah. Anyway, plant-based mince, 500 grams of that. So into that, we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of coriander. We're putting 2 teaspoons of sumac. There's a lot of twos going on here.
Yeah, it is.
2 teaspoons
Easy.
of smoked paprika.
Like
Lovely.
it.
We're going to put in there a handful of crushed pistachios.
Or 2 teaspoons.
Or
yeah,
2
perfect,
teaspoons if
yeah,
you want.
lovely.
If not, then we'll make it 2 teaspoons.
Yeah,
okay.
lovely.
A couple of cloves of garlic. 2 cloves of garlic. Okay. And then we're putting in there just a tiny little pinch of cinnamon. So that's all your Middle Eastern spices
2
go into
pinches
that.
of cinnamon,
Okay.
lovely.
And into that, then I'm just going to put a little bit of oil just to help bind the dish together. You can use oil or you can use water. But I put my water down somewhere today and I can't find it, so I'm using oil. Okay. Then you can give that a good stir. Best thing to do is get your hand in there. Okay. And the nice thing about this is because this is plant-based. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
you could actually taste this now because it's just soya, so you don't actually have to, you know, like with a mince, you won't know what it's like until you cook
course.
it. With this, you could actually just taste it now. So you get your hands into there, all right, and all we're going to do is we're going to just bring this together, all right, and then what we can do is we can turn it into either little balls or we can turn it into kind of sausage-like things, almost as you was talking there, that kind of
Falafel
the
type.
falafel, yes, yeah, okay. And then what we do is we just bring all of this together, and into that then I'm going to put a fistful of herbs. I've got some parsley, I've got some mint, and I've got some fresh thyme. And if you can't get fresh, you can use dried. Okay, but just remember, use about 1/3 less of the dried.
Okay.
So 3 spoons of fresh mint is 1 of dried mint. Okay, because the
Wow.
flavours condense. And again, we're going to mix that in.
And it sticks together well.
It
'cause
does,
that'd
yeah.
be my worry with
Yeah.
that it doesn't bind and you put it on the barbecue and it kind of falls apart.
Well, what I've done is just to be sure, what I've got is I've got this little kiddie here. You use it, say, if you're cooking fish on the barbecue. Because
Oh,
fish, again,
yes, I've one
we
of them at
barbecue
home.
fish, but sometimes it doesn't behave too well in comparison to, say, like a piece of meat on a barbecue. So it just keeps it all in place and keeps it all together. So we would take a good piece of this, and with a wet hand, as I say, this is plant-based, so we're fine. We can shape it into the kofta, we can shape it into whatever we want, and then I would pop those on a plate, and I pop them into the fridge, and they'll look like that, okay? And all we do is...
How long do you leave them in
Into
the
the
fridge
fridge,
for?
Into the
Yeah.
fridge for about half an hour. Leave them for about half an hour, which is about the same amount of time it takes for the barbecue to fire up anyway, do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a great little implement you have
Absolutely,
there.
and again, you can use it for fish, you can use it for there, and I'm just going to pop that down there, and that'll take about 4 or 5 minutes either side. And don't be shy, don't be scared, leave it on there. And you know, as long as it's not too hot, then just flick it over.
Like, there's no such thing about making sure it's cooked in the middle or anything like that.
Not with
Like,
this, no.
that's-
No.
You just want to make sure it's warm,
Absolutely.
really, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, that's all we need to do because
And you're
it's all
heating up the
pre-cooked.
flatbread as well.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to toast my flatbread ever so slightly, and I'm just going to knock up one here and just show you what we're going to add into it, okay? So all our fresh spices into the rubbish bin down there.
Because you have handed us the finished plate,
You
and
have the finished
I've never
plate there.
seen such an abundance of colour, Paul. It's gorgeous.
So all we're doing with this, right, I'm just warming the
Pomegranate is
flatbread on there, okay? And then onto that, what I'm going to add is some baba ganoush. So baba ganoush is the flesh of the aubergine that's been cooked on the barbecue with some garlic, So it's a lovely smoky taste. There's garlic in there, there's some lemon juice in there, there's some olive oil in there, and I've got some beetroot hummus as well. So again, so a nice little bit of colour goes
How
in
do you
that
make
too.
that? No,
That's exactly the same as kind of normal hummus: chickpea, lemon juice, olive oil, garlic, and then I just put some roasted beetroot into that. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of green on there.
Unreal, doesn't it?
It's just the colours I love. So
I actually tasted some of the baba ganoush,
yeah.
and it is delicious.
I take my kofta, and I'm just going to you can leave it whole, or you can just spread it out like this.
And that is quite firm, and it's not disintegrating on you.
Yep. And then with that, then a little bit of pomegranate on there as well.
Wow.
A little bit of pistachio for a little bit of a crunch. I'm going to put a little bit of plant-based yogurt in there that's got a little bit of lemon juice in there, just as a drizzle on there.
Well, if you served this up at a barbecue for your friends or family, they'd be absolutely thrilled.
So
Absolutely, my mum would anyway.
Yeah.
Well, your mum would, by the sounds of
And
it.
it's all we do.
You're the chef.
Yeah. We can just fold that over. You can eat as is, and that's that.
Do I?
You can plate
right.
that up there.
Let's give it a go.
I'm going to use the knife and fork.
I'm just going to dig in as well.
What's the verdict, Tom?
It's really good. You can really taste the koftas. Like they're exactly what you would think if you're getting a meat one.
What you're getting is you're getting all those flavours that we put in there. You're getting in all those Middle Eastern spices.
Yeah.
You're getting the texture of the pomegranate. You're getting in there the pistachio. And then you get the moisture coming in from the baba ganoush and also as well from the hummus.
It's so lovely with the pistachio and the pomegranate. Great mix,
They're
the
really,
two of them.
Middle Eastern food, excuse me, I've got a mouthful of food. Middle Eastern food is really, really nice because it's packed full of flavour. Really, really fresh flavours, fresh herbs. As we say, they're really simple to put together. Everything that was there you can buy readily available.
Well, if you have leftovers, let me ask you, can you keep them for a few days in the fridge?
Absolutely, yep. So all you can do is you can make these today.
Yeah.
Pop them into a tray, pop them into the fridge, and you can use them the next day in a salad. Make wraps for lads for lunches and things like that. So yeah, if you're going to make batch cook, make a load of those.
I think it'd be great lunchbox
Absolutely.
option for
You
September.
can freeze
Really
the mix as it
tasty,
is, and then just take it out and cook them. You can cook them in a pan, you can grill them. You don't have to barbecue them if the weather turns, but you can just take them off the barbecue, and then we can just leave them there to cool down, pop them into the fridge, job done, happy days.
Can I
side
ask
of
you the
corn as well.
potatoes as well? Sorry. So did you cook them, roast them, and then stick them on top?
Just baked potato,
Yeah.
just to cook them through, slice them, olive oil, and then just down we go like that.
Oh.
Paul, this is my favourite dish you've made. on the show.
Absolutely delicious.
Absolutely
for your mum.
gorgeous.
Happy birthday to her as well.
Happy
Mum.
birthday again, Eve,
Special
and
day.
thank you, Paul.
Cheers, guys.
That's
Thanks a
so
lot.
sad not seeing her in, what, a year and a
Hopefully
half?
you'll get to see her
yeah.
soon.
Yep, hopefully, yep.
Now, still to come this morning, we're going to be checking out easy breezy summer styles on a budget.
And we are chatting to the Happy Mondays star Sean Ryder about his former rock and roll lifestyle. Back after the break.